This is Ava Bently with Put a Mic in It. And I've got Barry, who is the creator of JJ Felix, on the line with me, and of course my lovely assistant Dave Warner, and I just know he loves me calling him that.
I don't get this, Barry. Do I look like a lovely assistant?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, thanks a lot. You're not helping here, Barry. Come on.
I'm joking.
Anyway, thank you for joining us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and about JJ Felix?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Barry. I'm from the UK, and I've been, making music since the age of 5, and I'm much older than that now. So yeah, released my first album at 15. So yeah, it's been 30 years creating music, and it's just part of me. It's part of who I am, and I love to keep up with technology and music, and I run a YouTube channel called Music Tech Info, which is talking about all of the AI tools that musicians can use. And then I was like, well, why don't I practice what I preach and actually create my own AI artist, So that's what I've done with JJ Felix.
Awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about your podcast for a minute, and then I want to talk about JJ, because you do a lot, and I think you kind of started there. And I know I follow your podcast. I know Dave has seen it, and I think a lot of people learn from you, especially with things like you're doing with Suno and looking at other platforms, which you and I have done a lot of discussion around. And so let's start there, and then we'll work our way over to JJ.
Yeah, sure. So my podcast YouTube channel, Music Tech Info, really started in Web3 for music, with those music NFT things, right? That I still think are great for musicians, by the way, even though the market's fallen off a cliff, as it were. I still see the pros for artists and musicians to actually use those tools, because you can tap into a community doing that. And then AI music came in, and I remember Udio and Suno coming up. This was probably the channel's been going 5 years, and I love to try and talk through the platform. So that's what I really specialize in the channel. So just kind of logically how I think about it. I've never ever ran with a script, ever. When I've tried to do that, it's just become so robotic and not very good. So I just go freestyle, and Suno really kind of excelled over the years, as we know, as well as many other AI tools that are out there, whether it's art, music, video, you name it. So it's just been an opportunity for me, an outlet to actually explore and then, explain how I'd work with those on the channel.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I've learned a lot from you just from the time that that we've met, and I'm always kind of tuned in. Yeah, thank you. And I'm always tuned in when I see you're posting something. I try to listen and see, even though I can kind of get the behind the scenes of what's going on, because we talk pretty frequently. But I'm always intrigued with whatever you're learning or whatever you're sharing. It's I feel like it's it's pretty well understood coming from you, and it's
thank you.
It's good knowledge sharing or learning.
Definitely.
At your shows. So
and likewise, Ava.
Yeah, thank you. So
he hasn't learned anything from me yet, so I'm just looking lovely here. I'm sorry.
I mean, Dave, feel free to jump in too if you've got any.
Oh, I will.
Yeah.
I have some questions I'm formulating.
Okay. So let's talk about JJ, because I think and I'm a huge fan of JJ, and I know you've got a lot of fans that are building. So let's talk about how you came up with him, and I know we talk quite often, and you say, oh, it's my alter ego, but he's actually quite impressive, and he's also a heartthrob. Every time I see him, I want to date him. So let's talk about him.
Yeah.
Poor Dave.
No.
Yeah, so JJ started back in October. I think I really started working with the tracks, but to begin with, in fact, no, you're right, the music came first. So I found the right voice that was in my head. And there's many AI persona voices out there, don't get me wrong, but when I heard this particular one, which is to be JJ, I thought, there's strength there, there's passion, there's everything that I'd love to be as a singer, because I'm very robotic and bass, and so I really see, you know, having different layers of a particular vocal. It really kind of went in my head and was a green tick, as it were, with that particular voice. And I was like, well, okay, I've got to make the visuals for this, because I've done AI music before, but never specifically an AI artist. It's been like an album worth of works, and every track's been a different singer, right? So I was like, well, I can't play guitar, and I can't play the drums, and I've always loved kind of like retro kind of rock and pop music, like Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, a bit of Nirvana, all of that kind of mix. I've kind of always kind of put to one side, because I've always been, with my own music, it's been synth pop, electronic music, known as Cyber Monday. So JJ was specifically for rock pop. So I was doing a lot of tracks for that. And then it was all about creating the right image for him. And I used a few platforms actually to create the image. I think the one that I ended up going with for JJ was Leonardo, where I just created so many different images, and I think I must have generated 100, and there was tweaks going on and all sorts of things. I thought I've got to nail this with what I think the voice sounds like in terms of the imagery. And when I saw JJ, I was like, even though there were others, don't get me wrong, there were many other potentials, but that particular one resonated. I thought that's the right persona with the right voice, the right image. That's what I need. And he's based in LA, and the story kind of changes a little bit. So I've turned out that he is actually from the UK, but he's gone over to LA to make it in the music industry.
Right.
So that really fits with my own kind of self-belief and my own personality, along with JJ. So that matches really well. And I'm just able to influence so much in terms of I write my own lyrics. I'm not going to always do that in the future. I may look at other tools, because there's some great tools out there, because it can take endless hours to make lyrics. And I sit down with a rhyming dictionary that I've had since the 90s. And I still use it to this day, because it's just so useful, you know. And so then I can sometimes put in top lines, because obviously I'm quite a melodic person, and I like to influence the tracks. And then I'll actually work with some of the tracks as a music producer. I don't always, but I try to. Sometimes I need extra elements. Sometimes I could sing in the background. So that's really how JJ came about.
Wow. And it's a big project, and like I said, you and I talk quite often, and I'm always impressed with the videos I see that you are creating, and of course the music. I love the music that you're producing, and in fact you and I collaborated on a song, Long Way Home. And
Long Way Home.
Every time I go into like my iTunes, it's one of the top songs that's
I love it.
Played, like top 3 or 4. I've shared that with you a couple times, and so people like it, and so I know we'll play it here on the podcast. But it's a great song. You really did the heavy lift. I had not done a collab with someone before, but I loved it, and I got to provide some input. I think the lyrics are great, the message is good. I think the two vocals together really flow and work together quite nicely. So I was very happy to be a part of that, and you've got so much experience in this space. So I learned, like I said, I learn from you every day, and I was just so happy that we did something, and it's getting it's certainly getting heard by fans, by both mine and yours.
That's absolutely right.
Great.
So let's put it in here. We'll put it in right here.
Yeah,
and play it.
I've
let's talk a little bit about some of your songs. You've got a new album,
Yeah.
Love and Loss, which you and I laugh behind the scenes because I've been working on an album called Love and Loss.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Also, it's not out. It's not going to be out for quite some time, but it was funny that you had the same name. I'm like, okay, well, great minds think alike. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so this is his second album now, and what I've tried to do for fans is we know like Spotify is great for discovery, but it's not great for compensating musicians. So I always try and provide value add for musicians because I feel that's what they want. So I've been providing the album on digital download on the website jjfelix.com, but that can include like a deluxe edition where they get like extra bonus tracks. So I think the first album was like 22 tracks, and this second album, Love and Loss Deluxe Edition, is 22 tracks as well. So it's nice to have those tracks not available anywhere else. And Love and Loss was really about the passing of my mom. That was really struck a chord with me. And I was like, well, how am I going to express this? And the best way, I was like, well, I've got JJ. I can use JJ to create the song, and again, from the heart, talking from the heart. And it's called Moral Compass, the track, and it's very moving. And then alongside that, there was a lot of fun tracks that I like to play on with fans, let's put it that way, in terms of his prose. So yeah, there's a lot of kind of just typical JJ tracks that I just knew fans would love. Like there's one track called Million that I absolutely love listening to. And Flores Street is another one that's based in LA. So where I stay in LA is in West Hollywood, and it's just called Flores Street, which is Flower Street. Okay. And it's just off Sunset Strip, and so I wrote a song about that as well. So it's been a more moving album than the debut. But then the concern was, well, is it going to do as well? And I'm so pleased to say that fans are absolutely loving it. Because you always worry about your second album, whether it's going to be as strong as the first, right? And yeah, fans absolutely love the music on there.
That's great. Yeah, I had the same concern with my Sassitude album that's coming out, but I actually think people are really going to love it.
Can't wait.
You mentioned a couple songs, so I've got a track called Attention. Is that on Love and Loss as well?
That's on the first album, actually.
Album. Yeah, because I know we want to play that.
That's definitely toying with the West Hollywood vibe of him going clubbing and craving attention. So that's quite fitting.
All right, yeah. So, Dave, we would plug that in.
All right, we'll do it.
Here.
I know it's not healthy, but I need you to need me. Check your phone every minute just to see if you're thinking what I'm thinking. I dress up for strangers just to feel like I matter. Mirror, mirror on my wall, tell me I'm enough after all. I crave attention, can't help myself. I love love, and we owe somebody else. I crave attention, it's what I do. I love love and know maybe with you. Fill me up till I feel like I'm enough. Dancing under rainbow lights, Santa Monica on Friday nights. I'm searching for that feeling when somebody sees me and stays. Every like's a little fix, every text a temporary bliss. I'm addicted to the chase, to the validation on your face. I crave attention, can't help myself. I love love, and we owe somebody else. maybe we're enough.
So with the so your fans are loving the new album. That's really great. Let's kind of maybe go back and talk a little bit about the Suno platform, and you've come out with a few things that you see that's going on. What are your thoughts long term about Suno, or what do we think is maybe next, or maybe another good option or a close second?
Yeah,
If
sure.
you've got some insight.
Yeah, so Suno's definitely, I'd say, number one in terms of the AI music generating platform. And they are trying to build their own community, and which is fascinating because they've got like a shorts feature which is like TikTok called Hooks. And it just allows you to promote your own music on there as a musician. And it's a great way to discover new music. There's some people on there that aren't AI artists, it's just themselves, but maybe they've used it as a tool. So it's great for discoverability. I also love Suno Studio. I was the first YouTuber to be able to feature Suno Studio from Suno. It went out to about 100 YouTube creators, and I just thought that everybody had the same time to release the video, but actually they came back to me and said, no, we love your video so much, we want you to be the first to publish it. So that was such a tribute for me. That was incredible to hear that. And I think Suno's here. I hope that it's here to stay, because I think it's an amazing tool. And they, Mikey, the CEO, has announced today that they've got their Series D funding, huge amount of money. And they're going to be working next on the license model from Warner Music Group. So that's coming next. So there's a lot of changes afoot. There's a lot of lawsuits to get through. But I'd like to personally think, and I can't promise this, but I'd like to think that it's so strong as a brand now that in some form it's here to stay. But I do think change is inevitable. And in terms of your second question, in terms of alternatives, there's a lot of alternatives out there. I've just done a video on Marika, which is fantastic. There's also Mozart is a good one. Udio is a walled garden at the moment, so when they release the platform, you'll be able to maybe do collabs with famous artists, but it's a walled garden. You won't be able to take the music out of that platform. Even Google's got in on the act because they acquired Producer AI, which is another AI music platform, and now it's called Google Flow Music. So Google is probably a huge threat to Suno right now because they are now competing in the space. But I'd actually say equally, I'd say Spotify is a competitor to Suno, and likewise, because I feel like the areas are getting merged somewhat. Because they're all trying to be the other one. So Spotify is trying to be more like Suno because they're going to be offering remixes and covers of opt-in UMG artists from a recent deal, so that we're going to have AI music on that platform that fans can just go in and remix as an add-on, and that's going to change the space again. So this is forever, we're on the journey.
Right.
Barry, I have a question for you about
Please.
the Udio walled garden. I mean, why would anybody be on a platform where you can't get your music off? What would be the purpose? I mean, I look at that and I'm like, I would never even go there.
Yeah, if it's Spotify, I kind of get that because it's such a powerful, strong platform with such a huge audience. I get it, right? And it'll be the case. I don't think you'll be able to publish that music. It'll just be on Spotify, maybe in a different area. We just don't know yet. But you're right. Like, I feel that a walled garden is like being able to make music in a prison with cuffs around your wrists. Literally,
And nobody listening.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. What's the point?
Yeah, and it's a shame because Udio was a great platform. I actually started on Udio many moons ago when it started, and I wasn't a Suno person. I was a Udio person, and they backed down very quickly with labels, whereas Suno is holding up a much stronger front and saying we are not accepting a walled garden. But how that's going to play out is to be seen.
Right, yeah. And that is concerning. Like, I sometimes worry, am I going to wake up to a 24, 48 hour notice that there's a walled garden? Which
And Suno's had trouble today. The network's been hit
know.
today. Couldn't generate. Yeah.
Yep. Had a few
It's
issues.
always a worry.
I know it is, and I'm hoping we're going to find the next best alternative. I know we're looking. I actually tried the Eureka. I'm not. I didn't like it as much. I don't feel like my songs were as good, and maybe it's just trial and error and trying to work with it. In fact, Dave, you may remember this. I did not like Suno.
Yeah, you didn't.
In the
Right
beginning.
in the beginning.
I fought it. I did fight it. I liked a different platform.
And I kept telling her, Barry, no, you don't understand. This one's really good.
I refused. I don't know for how long, but I did until finally one day I decided, I would just focus on learning it. And once I did, and I got my first really good song, I'm like, oh, okay, I think I'll keep trying this.
Yeah. It's a learning curve, though, right? It's like for my images, like people were saying, go on Higgsfield. Higgsfield's the best. And I'd go on Higgsfield and I'd be like, oh my God, I just feel swamped with information. There's too many menu options. There's too much going on. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. It took me months to really get into Higgsfield. Yeah. Now I can't get off the thing. I think it's incredible.
I use it all the time. I'm kind of addicted too, and they keep adding features, and you're like, okay. But they're looking at it from a storytelling standpoint too. When you add canvas and things like that, I found that to be visually a lot easier to lay out the way I want, since I can move things wherever I want to. It fits me. It may not be the way anybody else looks at storyboarding, but it works for me.
Yeah, and they've got agents and all sorts of supercomputer on there, which I haven't even looked at yet. And I
tried it for about 3 seconds, and I was like, yeah, okay, all right.
But I think that's the future.
In that at all.
I do think agents, we're going to have, there was NVIDIA has just announced about all of the agentic technology. They're going to be selling laptops with all of this, being able to have the AI stuff built in on device with all of these models. Yeah, they're going to compete with Apple.
Sounds like Chromebook Part 2.
It does. But these agents, Microsoft did the keynote, I think it was yesterday, was it? Yesterday.
Yeah.
And the CEO was talking about all of these agents, and I'm like, well, are people actually going to want this? But it's where we're all heading, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, you won't be able to buy anything without it.
Yeah. I think people really, and let's talk about AI just in general, because, I had someone today telling me, you shouldn't be using AI because it's taking all of our water. And I know what you mean, right? Power generation and chillers and things like that to control, data centers and the concern about, the power infrastructure, the water infrastructure. And I don't think people truly understand, AI is a tool. And I had to keep explaining over and over again, AI is merely a tool, much like any other tool we've worked with in, applications in the past, but it has, a capability to, expedite things that we do. For my case, I've got a digital twin and a vocal twin now, and that helps me create commercial style, promos, and obviously, my vocal twin aiding me in, the creation of music and singing in a way that I can't with my vocal limitations. But AI is going to help do so many things, and it's a tool that I really encourage everyone get familiar with. This is the future.
No, it's amazing.
I alone am not taking a water source away from the world, and I understand people are afraid of this tool and what it means. And for me, I have approached it as an early adopter, in my case, music, but I was also looking at it before I came, to the music industry in my old world, in my old life, because I felt like AI was the future there to expedite and improve the quality of work that we were delivering. But not everybody's in that camp. And so, I have my personal thoughts on it. First of all, we can't stop it. It is the future. And the second is, this would be the time to familiarize yourself and start learning.
Can I inject something there? This fear about data centers is absolute insanity. We've had them I had servers running in data centers the late 90s, early 2000s. They've been around for decades. They've been using a ton of power. If they were water cooled, they were using water. And there's all of a sudden they're trying to make it like it's some new, they put the initials on the front, and they don't realize that they're saying, we don't want any AI data centers. Well, what you're saying is not that you don't want AI, you're saying, I don't want television anymore. I don't want banking anymore. I don't want social media anymore because they're all in, quote, AI data centers.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying, I'm going to go back to a cave when you make that argument. These things have been here for decades. It's a big building. It's not taking over farmland, and it's not stopping us from eating. I mean, if you want to go after something, go after the solar farms, which is a huge issue here in upstate New York, where they are literally taking tens of thousands and now millions of acres of farmland, and now they're talking about floating them on our waterways and stuff. It's just, and you're worried about a data center?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to interject that because it's just the insane. What do you think, Barry?
I completely agree. It was the same in Web3 with NFTs. They said the same thing. Too much power, too much energy, too much water is being used. And literally, I know Ethereum was a huge problem. And they changed the technology so that it wasn't as severe and that it was more efficient. And I think it's going to be the same with the data centers, right? They'll just make it more efficient.
Well, they're already using wastewater and things like that to mitigate that. And, of course, Elon's talking about putting data centers in space, which is, a long-term fix, but maybe viable. I'm not quite so sure about that, but we'll see. But there's already companies talking about launching the material within the next year to start that process.
That's cool. I remember somebody messaging me. This is quite funny. Somebody messaged me when I promoted a JJ song on social media, and it was a AI picture saying AI is killing the world, but they used AI to create the image.
And they don't understand that if you do a Google search, I had this one guy telling me, well, I Googled this. It's all run by AI.
Right.
What do you just used a ton of water and a ton of electricity to point out that I was using AI on something.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I mean, if you think about it, like an algorithm, like on Spotify, is AI, isn't it? It's been going on a long time.
Yeah. Well, you could go into auto-tune. Yeah. Which in reality is, I would call it artificial intelligence, where it's adjusting your voice pattern and things like that. So it's been around for a while.
And we had the same with synthesizers. We had the same with electronic drum kits and the music. I forget the company. There's a huge kind of society in the UK for musicians, and they try to ban them. They try to ban synthesizers, and they try to ban electronic drum kits. I think it was in the late 80s or early 80s, mid 80s, was it? Because they were saying it's taking jobs, it's trickery, it's not real. Yeah. And it's like, that's crazy when you look back, and this is where we're going to be. You look forward in 10 years and you'll be like, what was that about? Why didn't everybody just come on board with these tools?
There was a study I actually looked at today that said, came out and said, it's not actually taking jobs. There are more jobs being created because of it. They're not the same jobs, but they're different jobs. Yeah. And so I think just a lot of fear and misinformation out there. And
there is.
And it's driven by people with agendas.
Yes. And people generally want to say before they'll look into stuff, so they'll just vent on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the fear mongering is, I think people just don't understand what AI is. People actually think that even though I've done my digital twin, they think I'm not real. It's not a real person, and there's some mysterious code happening behind the scenes that's creating, these digital people. And I keep trying to, when the opportunity comes, I try to inform. No, I am a real person. I'm using it as a tool. I'm putting in the prompts. I'm a real person doing that. And
you're hiring a studio band, Ava. That's basically what you're doing, and you're instructing them how you want them to play. And it's your voice, and it's your lyrics. And you have musicians that happen to be electronic that you're instructing. Here's what I want you to do.
Correct. Yeah.
And you do it over and over and over and over again. And it's the same process for any other musician or singer.
Exactly, but they just don't understand that. So I do believe people think there is some mystery, auto generator of these digital people, these digital songs, these digital videos, all that. And I love it when they say, "Oh no, it's AI." I'm thinking, do you know how much AI is out there that they have absolutely no idea that they're watching, and it is absolutely 100% AI generated. Even though there are people, let's be clear,
every phone,
people prompting,
every phone,
yes,
Yeah.
but they don't understand that, which is unfortunate. And where the opportunity arises, I try to educate. Do I know if I'm getting through or not? It's hard to say, but one person at a time. But there's a lot of misunderstanding about AI in the world.
I don't think we should have to fight this hard. I mean, it was the same with digital cameras when they came out. Oh my God, you're not a real photographer. You're not using film. On and on. And we went through that whole process.
Yeah.
Photoshop. Same thing with Photoshop, right? Oh, you Photoshopped it. No, I used a tool. You think we weren't doing the same things in the darkroom, dodging and burning and cropping and whatever else? We're using electronic tools now. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I remember, in fact, it's been a regular thought that I've had in that I can go into my digital audio workstation as a producer, and I could literally make a song. We're using samples in, 5 minutes, right? And it wouldn't sound amazing, but I could do that. But you compare that with how much work I actually put into generating the music. There's a huge imbalance there, and people aren't seeing that. They just think it's a click of a button to create an AI song.
Well, and it is because...
And it can be.
You've got shows like 60 Minutes went on there, and I remember that segment. They were talking about the AI music, and they said, give me a song about 60 minutes. Yeah. And it wrote all the lyrics, and of course it had no soul, and it didn't sound worth a darn, but it created a song. And so people assume that somebody like Ava or you, Barry, or even myself, that's just what we do. We put a couple words in there and hit go get it, and there it is. There's the hit.
Right. Yeah.
And we have brands that we they have to be JJ relatable songs. That he is a brand to me, so I've got to make sure that every song I work with or generate, it relates to him. Otherwise, there's no point doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. I get up in the morning, I get a song in my head, I am crafting the lyrics, and then I'm starting the process to generate a song. Well, it could take me hours. I mean, sometimes I get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, and next thing you know, it's 8 or 9 o'clock, and I'm still trying to work on the same song. That's a lot of hours that I'm investing, and I'm writing nearly every day. And much like you, Ava is a brand, and it has to align with the types of songs that Ava will be putting out into the world and performing. And I have a signature in my particular songs. If you hear them, and they really are written from my heart or my backstories, or they're real experiences that I'm putting into those songs. And so there's a lot of soul that goes into them. And when you generate a song, they don't always come back with the soul. Now you've got to teach it how to put that soul in and capture what that emotion is. And I sometimes call it slaying the dragon, because there's a lot of effort that has to go into that, because we as musicians hear what the song is in our head, and then we're trying to create that output from what we hear. And when you don't hear it, you have to keep trying and trying and trying again. And I think the other thing people don't understand is how many AI tools there are out there. And something does something a little different, and sometimes you've got to bring in a set of tools. So it's not a one-stop shop, right? So you've got all these different tools that you have to master to create a single output with multiple aspects, such as the music, the video, the promotion, etc. You know what I'm saying here, right? And people don't understand. It's a suite of tools to get that one output for one song. There's many things that go with it in order for it to, to be out there and to be a viable product for the fans.
It's the same for videos, isn't it? Because like when we're trying to market our brands, it's like we've got to think about lip syncing and how many times over have we gone to try and do lip syncing and it hasn't been spot on, and it's like, oh no,
drives you crazy, doesn't it?
Yes.
It does. It does. And I use motion control now for JJ, so I'm actually acting as JJ, recording myself, and then converting that into using the AI tools to convert into his persona, and it works. People love that. But it's a lot of work to do that. I've got to get mentally in the mood to act as JJ to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work, but the results are amazing. But not always, as you say, Ava. Some I've tried so hard to get right, and they've just never worked.
And then I just give up.
Sometimes, it is down to luck. Yeah, definitely. And you're right. That's another good point with the with my channel, is that I do explore a lot of different platforms, whether it is for videos or lip syncing or music generators, and the channels help me with that, because it's given me a purpose to search all of that stuff even before JJ was a thing. So it's been a great thing for me.
Yeah, it's I think it's, with your channel, it's very educational. Like I said, anytime I see you've got a show coming up and some of the cool things you're talking about, I tune in, and I really encourage other people to tune in. Why don't you tell us where to find you so that people who are watching this podcast can find you on YouTube?
Yeah, so just type in Music Tech Info on YouTube, and you'll see. So yeah, it's just, last week was 5 years, so that time has just vanished.
Wow.
And I forget how many hundreds of videos I've done on that, but I think it was about 700, 800 videos, something like that. And I've just hit 10,000 subscribers, which is just, it's
awesome.
Incredible. Yeah, it's incredible. And the thing is, it's kind of ironic, because I could make a song and publish it, and then I can do a video talking about that song, and I'll make more money from that YouTube video than I would of that actual song. Yeah. Which to me as a musician is really frustrating, because music is my life. But you're right, Ava, it's about educating people how to use these tools from a logical perspective, and that's what I try and achieve. And in my IT career, that I do try and help with training, and I've been a trainer myself, and I think that's where I've developed the skills to just logically talk about these platforms.
Yeah, and I know what you mean. I just hit 2.21 million playlists, and I've made all of
Amazing.
Like $500. Now I know it's in, it that cost comes, later. It's in the rears, 2 to 3 months out. So I'm hoping I'm going to see something exciting. But I just, you hear it all the time that there's no money in streaming, which is why for me, and JJ, you and I talk about this quite a bit, about getting out and performing. And I know you and I talk about looking for ways that, Ava and JJ can go out and perform, physically. For me, I can do that. In fact, Dave is helping me set up, my, potential concert structure.
God help us, Barry. God help us.
I'll be there. VIP all the way.
Yeah. But we're working with lighting and how, Ava's going to get up there and perform, and
that's exciting. That is so exciting.
And for you, I know we've been kicking around. Well, how can JJ also be, on the stage and performing? And I think in reality, there's different options that are out there. I have no doubt at some point JJ is going to be on that stage somehow, somewhere, because I know this is a really big project for you, and you're all in, and that's why we talk about it. We're always kind of collaborating and trying to explore what technologies are there for us. I think in my the way I'm planning to do it, it will be different than you'll do it with JJ. For now, but I do think there is opportunity where Ava, her digital twin, can be on stage and performing, because I can't be everywhere all the time, and actually that would help me a lot.
I think we use the same technology as maybe an Avatar, where they put all the sensors on your body, and we capture all those motions to a song, and then it becomes a data set that we then take and put into an AI world, a three-dimensional world. Right? Why not?
Yeah. I think that's very real, very realistic, how that could come about. So I think the future is so promising with, the possibilities of what we are going to be able to do from that standpoint. So I am excited as this progresses. Do people have a fear of this? Yes. Is it a healthy fear? I don't know. I think none of us know what the future is. I do worry it's going to go too far. But I think that's a long ways away right now. And I think there's a lot of human intervention that has to happen with these tools. And I think if we use it in the right way and we master it in the right way, I think this is just the next progression of technology, much like we've seen in the past that had all of the fear around it. So I think it's exciting times, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing where it goes and what more we're capable.
The robots are going to kill us, Ava. The robots are going to kill us. It's just it's a fact. Yeah, that is happening.
Yeah, Sarah Connor wouldn't be happy with us.
Yeah, I think it's a little ways away, but right now I think robots are going to be our friend.
Yeah, they'll do some work that nobody wants to do, and that's fine. But
yeah, it's going to remove risk from a lot of high risk, environment kind of jobs. It's going to help save lives and different things like that. There's pros and cons to all of this, but it's an exciting time. I know for me, coming and returning to music after many years and being able to do this in this way is very fulfilling and exciting. And I know I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying working with you, Barry, and, engaging with the JJ Felix project you're on and learning so much from you. And I would say, thank you so much for coming on the show.
More than welcome. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. And then I want to close the show with another song that you developed, with Breaking Rust. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Breaking Rust is actually an AI artist, so it was very much me influenced by him as an AI icon, I guess, because he was one of the first AI artists, similar to kind of the same time as Arnie Monet. So I was like, I'm going to write a track about this guy breaking rust, and I want it to be country, but that's, I'll develop a story about it, and I really wanted it to be kind of gritty, and it took a lot of work getting the sound right. I had to really work hard on it in my music software afterwards to really get because I'm not a sound engineer, right? But I know what sounds good. And it was really important for me that it was a strong track, because I heard so much potential from this. So I worked with it and I really put up the bass. Like, the bass is crazy on this track. And yeah, it wasn't out on the first album, but it was available on streaming services. And fans were like, why isn't this on the first album? And I was like, well, it was because it was about an AI artist, And they're like, can you put it on the next album? So that's exactly what I've done. So it is on Love and Loss. And I love the track, and yeah, people love it.
Yeah, it's really good. So we'll close out the show with that. And thank you for sharing that, with us.
Thank you both.
Thank you for coming on the show, and we'll do it again.
I'm breaking rust and talking to the whiskey glass. Country bar on Friday, trying to make the feeling last. Young and reckless, that drink is surely mine. Pouring out my heartache, one shot at a time. Got these worn out boots and stories I can't tell. Lessons learned the hard way, yeah, I know them well. The jukebox playing low in the corner of the room, talking to the whiskey glass, drowning in the gloom. Breaking rust and talking to the whiskey glass, trying to forget the things that didn't last. A drink is surely mine tonight, young and lost, but I'll be alright. Small town roads behind me, big dreams up ahead, but right now I'm just sitting here with thoughts inside my head. The bartender's pouring, doesn't ask me why. I'm young but feeling older as the night goes by. Steel guitar is playing something slow and sad, reminds me of the good times into the whiskey glass, learning life's hard lessons way too fast. That drink is surely mine, yeah.